Hi everyone, I'm Anna, host and founder of Claim. If you don't know me, I help single successful women attract committed masculine men. And some of you might be wondering, why is Anna doing a video on makeup? Well, makeup and beauty and fashion and style is all part of how I feel as a woman. And if you're single, it has a definite and a direct correlation with your ability to attract amazing men. Because if you feel amazing, then the men around you are going to be amazing as well. Disclaimer, no matter how much makeup you put on you, no matter how great your style is, that is not a recipe for attracting great men. It's who you are inside and how to change that. And if you want to know more about this, I've recorded plenty of videos and I have an amazing training that teaches you the 4-step process to that. So right now, I am completely without makeup. Since I was a teenager, basically, I loved makeup, and what it does to my face and how to do it. I was also wondering how to do it. My journey with, obviously, where did I learn about makeup? In beauty magazines, for my girlfriends, and then YouTube came around, right? And then obviously I was watching some YouTube videos and stuff, when I was going to the stores, I was buying these when I was opening beauty magazines, it's like, oh, here is this mascara, or here's this new products on the market. But nobody freaking teaches you how to apply makeup properly, right? Even the videos on YouTube that are great, they show up on the video and say, okay, well, here's how I'm applying my foundation, and here's how I'm applying this and this and that, color, eyeshadow and mascara and lipstick, and go do the same. And most of the time what happens is that it's never the same on your face, because it's missing those foundational skills that I'm going to share with you today that I learned actually through, and I want to give credit to from Elena Krigina, who is a Russian beauty expert, and she's got and she's Russian, so you won't understand anything, and that's why I'm here to you, serving as a translator. And maybe somebody out there in the English market does this, but I just haven't seen it. I'm 33 now, and I only discovered this maybe a few years ago. So I was a 30-year-old woman or a 29-year-old woman who didn't know how to put makeup on. I had an eyeshadow and this and that, and I was just putting things on, and the foundation, there's a million, stuff on the market, products and shades and shit. And I'm I was just lost. And when I discovered this, what I'm going to share with you today, everything just made so much sense. And so let's get into it. Stop talking, Anna, about tangents and nonsense. And by the way, before I say this, is that I'm a woman just like you, and for the last 15 years, my face, and I think now what you're seeing, my face and my skin has been the best that I've had in years, because I've been struggling with adult acne forever. It's been a journey, and if I manage to come to this place where I feel good about my skin and about my skincare routine and about my makeup, trust me, you can too. And so you can see that I have some blemishes. You can see that I do have a little bit of acne, but today's a good day. I also haven't done my eyebrows in a while. I go to a lady here locally that does them. But so just know that if I could do it and I can feel good about my skin, you can do it too. But for me, it was years in the making. After I've done my morning routine, let's say, the first step is to do foundation. The foundation products really just even out your skin, and it's important to put foundation on, because if you don't, or you put it on different spots or whatever, your skin is not going to look even. There's many different types of foundations. What I use personally, and I'll share with you what works for me, but you see what works for you. I don't like to put actual foundation creams on my face. I want makeup that doesn't feel like makeup on my face, and I don't like makeup that just feels heavy and looks heavy. I want it to look as natural as possible. I use a C.C Cream from this Korean skin therapy brand called Herborian. So I use an under eye. This is called a C.C Radiance Eye Contour Cream, and it has an SPF 20. And again, this was recommended by the Russian bloggers. Actually, from now onwards, most of the stuff that I'll share with you in terms of makeup, I use it from the recommendations from my favorite Russian beauty girl. But I'm sure you can find this on some other websites, or you can find something very similar. And then I use this one. It's called C.C Cream High Definition Radiance Face Cream Skin Perfector. And it also has SPF 25 sunscreen Clear. So what I learned is, well, we all by now should know that SPF is extremely important on your face. And you know, I live in Australia, so for me it's like super high priority. But no matter where you are, you need to wear SPF on your face and on your neck. In fact, I should have taken this necklace off and then put it on, but I'm going to apply it to my neck. I take literally a little bit like that, yeah, and then I apply it to my, I'm actually gonna, oh my God, I feel like a beauty blogger. This thing here is amazing because it looks just like a cream, but this CC cream, it just blends into the skin. So you just need to give it a little bit of time. So I apply it around my eyes. And then I take this one, which is the CC Cream. Oh, you see, it's already a little bit radiant. And I just literally apply, I think, 2 bulbs like this to my face real quick. And I love it because it just literally, it feels like cream. Sometimes I actually apply, I have a little tube of foundation. I apply it when I go out, like on a date night or something, but in rare cases I do it. The next step after that, you would use, and this is where like makeup actually starts, you would use like a concealer. Know that there's also certain trends in makeup, apparently, and so right now the trends are all natural. So in general, this period of COVID, what I learned is that everybody's going like all natural in terms of eyebrows, in terms of how your skin looks like. That's why I like this CC cream, because it gives me this look of a really very natural face, like no effort, you know, and the brows are the same when you do them, and the makeup is, so that's why I'm going to show you. It's a monochrome makeup that you can do every day, and it looks like you don't even have anything on, right? Like that's the point of makeup, I think, that you want to go out and you want to look like zero effort was put into this. You can already see that my face is actually, the texture is evening out and it's changing a little bit, right? And it looks a lot better than I was before because it just gave me that even texture. Now we go to correction. Gosh, I wish, what is the word in English? I don't know. But basically you're using certain tools to correct the features of your face so that the best features of your face can be highlighted or brought forward, and then hide what you don't want. The whole idea of makeup is you use makeup to manipulate how your face looks so that you look better, right? So that you feel better. And so it's amazing how, I mean, you've all seen these videos, right? Like before and after, how with these tools and the makeup, you can manipulate and you can like totally be a different person. You know, even, we're going to talk about eyebrows in a second, but eyebrows actually is the most important feature on your face because it is so individual, and it can actually tell a lot by your character. And if you want to go into the history of eyebrows and everything, it's really interesting if you look over the decades how the shape of eyebrows have changed from like really tiny one and pointy ones, whatever. It told a lot about what was important in the culture at the time, what was important about beauty, what beauty meant to people and stuff like that. But I won't go into that. So it's fascinating. That's why when I started to learn all of this, it was fascinating to me because it's not just, oh, let me buy an eyeshadow and let me, you know, there's art in that, and there are ways that you can really very simply, using certain tools and understanding certain principles about the structure of the face and the harmony of all the features, you can really play with that, and you can do it in, you know, in a matter of 10-15 minutes in your own home. And that's why for me it was like, holy moly, nobody knows about this. No freaking magazine in 20 years has taught me this. And when I took a course from a Russian blogger and dived into this a little bit more, and you know, beauty, makeup artists, they know this, and I don't know why they don't freaking share anything. Or same thing with style and fashion, you know, all these magazines and all this stuff out there, they don't teach you how to dress. They just kind of show you what's in trends and tell you to buy this like amazing pair of sneakers and I don't know what, but they don't teach you the basics, and I freaking hate that. So for me, fashion and makeup and style has completely transformed once I understood the principles of it. And I'm gonna, if you actually like what I'm saying, what I'm sharing with you, please comment in below this video, or if you listen to the podcast, please leave me a review, because I want to talk more about this because it's so extremely important. And you might also ask, what does this have to do with dating? Well, I teach this stuff, or the principles of this, in my program, because as a woman, as we mentioned before, first and foremost, you need to do the inner work. Like, if you're not attracting the men that you want in your life, or if your relationship is like has reverse polarity, where you are in your masculine all the time and he's in your feminine, come and join my training. I have a free training on this, by the way, on how to start attracting amazing men, and how to transform yourself from inside. That's at klein.com/training. But then the second step, when we do all of that, when we do the work and reframe your beliefs about men, about yourself, the next layer is like, well, who am I as a woman, right? Because for me, actually, disclaimer, makeup and beauty and fashion and style was always something that I looked down upon. It was something that all these bimbos were doing, or in fact, I was actually, when I was seeing women who look good, who have a sense of style, I was really envious of them. And I thought that world is not for me. Like, I don't have the skills. I wasn't born with some like sense of fashion and style and really good taste and stuff, and I don't know how that works. And trust me, I come from the poorest country in Eastern Europe, and I grew up without a mother as well. My mom passed when I was really young. I was 8, and even if you grew up with a mother, I know a lot of women weren't blessed with having role models of a woman who knows how to take care of herself, right? Who knows beauty and really values beauty and really has an amazing relationship with her femininity. And by the way, beauty is not femininity. First and foremost, femininity is not necessarily beauty and what you see on the outside. First of all, it's how you feel inside about yourself as a woman, and your feminine flavor. But you can't deny this pull and this relationship you as a feminine essence woman have with beauty and colors and textures. And that's why women love makeup. That's why we love style. When you look at the structure of the face, right? The ideal face is actually an oval face. The human body is actually very proportionate and very harmonious. And you can measure, I don't even know, like the head is the size, like there's 8 heads in the body or whatever. I'm talking about, it's all about symmetry. If my video editor can show that picture here of David, something about David, and then when you look at your face, you can obviously divide your face in the middle. And so there's equal blocks here. So this is block number 1, from the top of your forehead to the middle of your eyebrows. This is block number 1. Block number 2 is from the middle of your eyebrows until the end of your nose. And block number 3 is from the end of your nose until the end of your chin. And so these 3 sections of your face, they're supposed to be all in equal length. Your face then is divided in 6 parts like that. And the trick here, which is really interesting, this is how you actually do this color correction and stuff like that, which is very simple. So I want you to look in your face in the mirror right now, pause this video, and measure. You can actually literally measure. It's so scientific, but very simple. So I can see, I know this because I've done this before. I can see that this distance here, like from my forehead, and they all have to be equal for you to have a symmetrical, proportional face. And beauty actually is all about harmony and this symmetry, and you can develop a sense of style and beauty as well. That's why I love this work. It's a skill that you build. But these 3 parts have to be equal in length. And your face has to also be oval, right? But obviously, hello, we're all born imperfect, and that's actually the beauty of it. Because imagine, I like when I was listening to Yelena, she said something really cool, and now I understand why. When you look at women who've done plastic surgery, they go to do plastic surgery, and when plastic surgeons work on their face, so they can look symmetrical and in harmony. So for example, if you look at my face, right? And every face is imperfect. And when these doctors bring the features together, like for harmonious face, you can see that the women who have plastic surgery, they all start to look the same. Why? Because these plastic surgeons are trying to create a beautiful, symmetric oval face, which is, if we would all have these kind of faces, we would all look the same, literally like dolls. But we don't, and that's the beauty in it. And so for me personally, when I had that aha moment, I didn't want to be like anyone else. And that's what, like, the makeup for me is now an expression of myself, rather than trying to look like a Kim Kardashian or trying to look like somebody else, because it will never look the same, because my face is extremely unique. And I just use these tools to make my face look how I want it to look, and bring it to that more harmonious state, not using plastic surgery, but using makeup tools. If you look at my face, and I want you to analyze yours, you can clearly see, and this is where, and every woman has like this thing that she doesn't like about her face, but you can clearly see that this part, okay, so let's say from the forehead to here, if I go here, I can see that this part here is actually shorter. And I can also see that my nose is long, it's a really long nose. So if I were to do plastic surgery, for example, I would actually just take out the tip of my nose, but I don't need to do that. But then this part, I know that is pretty much symmetrical. If I had a shorter nose, my face would actually look a little bit better, a little bit more symmetrical. Let's look at the shape of my face as well. My face, I've been lucky to have pretty much an oval face. When you look at mine, I want you to look at your face or take a photo and analyze it. Actually, take a photo, print it if you can, and then, or on your phone, and then draw. You got to draw, and you got to look at what's the shape of your face. And I can see that, you see how here I have actually square, a little bit square, and I'll show you how we can correct that. And my chin is pointy. And so if I were to do plastic surgery, here's what I would have done. I would shorten my nose a little bit, and then I would actually round my my chin, and I would round things here. And I also feel like, well, you see how my face is actually elongated, but this could be corrected with the chin. But I also learned that the distance between the two eyes has to be the same as one eye. So if one eye fits in between your two eyes, then your eyes, the distance between your eyes is proportionate. But if not, so for example, I think mine is actually the same, but I see that it's a little bit shorter. So my job with makeup is to extend my eyes to the sides. When you look at women who are really beautiful, and that's what makeup artists do. Makeup artists sit with your face and look at your face, and they use these tools of makeup to manipulate shadows, and it's actually all about shadows and light, to bring out your best features, and then apply, and then after that only you apply color and stuff like that. So your job is to ask yourself, what is the shape of my face? And how do I make it an oval? This is actually freaking math, okay? If you have been bad at math, this is not for you. But so if you have a round face, then how do you make an oval out of a circle? Well, you darken or you delete the sides so it can become an oval. If you have a square face, how do you make an oval? Well, you darken or you delete the squares, right? So I'm going to show you how this works. But for me, I know that, I know that this is a little bit square, so I need to round here. And I know that my chin is a little bit pointy, so I need to round here. And I also know that my nose, so when you divide it into 3, you can see, like, if your forehead is a lot bigger, then you need to shorten your forehead. And if your nose, like mine, is bigger, you need to shorten your nose. And personally, for me, for my lips, for example, as you can see, my top lip is actually smaller than the big one. And the most important thing maybe this does make sense, but I want you to take out of this is that we are going towards an ideal, and we'll never be ideal and perfect, but we can try, and you'll see before and after for me. and you can try to get there with the tools that makeup gives us. And so my job here would be to enlarge either to enlarge the top lip or to make smaller the bottom lip. Okay, so let's get into how. Well, the first thing that I know that I've been taught is you can actually use a concealer to lighten up the areas that you want to bring in, and it's all about this correction. I call it correction phase of makeup after you apply foundation. It might look complicated, but honestly, this part takes me 5 minutes now that I know what to do with it. So, and you can honestly, I advise, here's what you need to do, because it's really hard to do this on your own. I actually took, I forgot to tell you, I took an online consultation with a makeup artist who helped me with all of this. Because if you're sitting there watching or listening to me being like, Anna Rova, this is freaking rocket science, do what I did. So for fashion and style, what I recommend all of my clients is to work with a stylist, because you can spend so much time and actually money trying to learn it on your own. But if you work with a professional who can tell you, who can help you realize what is your body size, what is your body shape, what kind of shapes you should wear, what kind of colors look good on you, and all of that, you'd hack the process and it's gonna be so much easier. Same thing with your face and your makeup. Get a woman, a professional makeup artist who can not only like, okay, I'm gonna do some makeup on you, but actually teach you about your face. I had a professional consultation, exactly on top. She's like, okay, your chin is pointy, you need to lower your chin. You need to round these things, you need to bring your eyes outwards, you need to do your nose. But that was also after I educated myself, so I understand this. So for you, fun, and honestly, I paid like $60 for it. I mean, not more than 80, I think, for an hour. Like, invest in this and it's gonna change your life. Because the principle is, let's talk about this. First, we highlight the stuff that we want to highlight. So you would actually use a concealer to do your under eyes, to do the T-zones. I don't really do it because for me, it's like an extra step and whatever, but I'll do it with you. So, because I've done, for my face, for example, I already done my under eye C.C Cream. So here you go. I've done it on my face, then I'm gonna do the T-zone here. And you basically do this, so the whole makeup stuff is all about playing with shadows and light. I also like to use it around my nose, so you do this, then you lighten up a little bit like your upper lip. Well, I think this is pretty much it, right? So what you do after that is the correction. And so let's play with shadows and how can you manipulate the face. You can use different products. And by the way, it was really interesting. When I went to the market here, to the makeup stores here in Australia, I never understood what are those, like, I don't even know how you call them, like correction kits are for. Like, what is this for? The brown, the brown stuff, or like bronzers and shit. Like, I didn't understand what they're for. And what I like, and the trend is now, I think I talked about trends, like it's all about natural, but there's also this wet effect, like this dewy, glowy effect, and we're gonna do it today, and I'm gonna show you how. So it all depends on trends, but I really like this effect. And so I like the textures of my makeup to be not liquid, but soft. This is basically blush, yeah? So there are different textures in makeup. One of them is powder, and the other one is liquid. And this is actually, I bought it because I'm experimenting with the Rose ink, Rosie, what's her name? Rosie something celebrity girl who's married to this hot guy. But these are different textures. So one of them is powder, right? That you put on a brush and put it on. One of them is actually like, let me show you. Like a liquid. And this is where everything is going right now. So the trends are that the makeup, what you apply for the makeup is liquid. This is 3-in-1, right? Because I can use this on my lips, I can use it as my blush, and I can use it as my eyeshadow. And this is my monochrome makeup, and this is the everyday no makeup. So I prefer, and the trends are right now, how you achieve this dewy look is by using not liquid, but not powder texture. It's not liquid, but it's like a creamy texture. I would suggest cream if you can find. This is actually a pigment that I got from Krigina. This is a Russian product. I actually wouldn't recommend this because this is really hard to use and manipulate. But essentially, this is like literally like a liquid thing, and it works like that. So you put a little bit, it's highly pigmented, but if you can find a corrector according to your shade, and make sure you consult with a specialist in the store that's like this, but only in like a shadow, it's called, I think, shadow corrector or something. So what I do, I put a little bit, but if you were working, I would actually, I'm going to look for an alternative to these pigments because it's not easy for me to use. I would love to have something like this that I could just work with. I take a brush, and then what I do, because this is highly pigmented, I just use a tiny little bit, and sometimes I put too much, but anyways, this is gonna come with experience. But what I do, okay, so let's begin with the first thing that I do actually. So if you look at your face, you know, you always want to look these parts under your cheeks. So this is what we're gonna blush, but under your cheek is, oh my God, I don't know the English word for this. I know it in Russian. But this part under your cheeks is actually the part that you want to shade. And this is actually following the natural light. So if you look at me when I talk, you see how when I talk, this part actually, you're just following the natural light and shadow and how it falls on your face. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna provide or do a little bit more shadow, and see, I just fucked it up on this part. So I'm just gonna blend it. And sometimes, like if you put too much, don't worry about it because you're still learning, as I am. You just put a little bit of concealer, but basically what you do is you just put a little bit so that you can add a little bit of shadow so that this part of your face, which is, you know, the plump one, your cheeks can come out. Then the next thing what I do, I actually then go, so I think, well, everybody should just darken these spots, so add a bit of, and you know, the more you put into it, the more your face is going to become contour. Oh my God, correction. Contour, introducing. If you can get a cream contour that applies to your skin color, obviously, just apply a little bit like this under your cheeks. And then the next part of the contour, you start to contour and correct your face. So I know for me, you see how this chin is pointy. So what I do, I just lightly do it under my chin. And so if you do this right, then you will see how my chin visually, like from a distance, and you can see that from a distance, these parts here have already been, I have a little bit more shadow here, so it gives me contour to my face. That's why you look at all these models and they're like perfect and amazing. That's the makeup, the power of makeup. And so, you know, for me right now, and you won't see it obviously from here, but overall when you do this and it works together, then visually, this is all like visual manipulation. This is like Photoshop in real life. So you do this, and then what I'm going to do the next, and maybe you need to add a little bit more, but I'm going to just start lightly. The next thing, remember how I said this part of my face is a little bit square? So I make it a little bit round, like this. And then you kind of overall, you see how I'm doing? So for example, if I had a round face, I'd really work on removing these parts of the round face so it can, remember the ideal is the oval. Then the next thing I do, remember how my nose is too big, too long. So what I do, I hope you understand this principle. This is like freaking drawing 101. But what I do is I actually just darken the tip, like just under it, the tip of my nose. And so what I've done is very simple here. I rounded my forehead. I rounded my chin because I have a really pointy chin, and you can still see it. With the neck, you can do the same thing. If you want your neck to be longer and thinner, you're just working with shadows, remember? So with the neck, and you just use a little bit here. So add a bit of shadow here. You can also add a bit of shadow on the sides of your nose. So your nose is, so if you have a big nose, let's say wide, you just shadow here and see, yeah. So the next thing that I do actually, because for me, the difference between my eyes, the distance between my eyes is too small, I need to widen my eyes. And how do I widen my eyes? I'm actually gonna do like think of it like a smoky eye effect. So with the same contouring color, I'm gonna go underneath my eyes. And by the way, also this is, if you can also make your eyes bigger. and there's different techniques. So I'm just gonna do it here. But what I'm doing, I'm basically going around the eye and I'm extending it here. Do you see what I'm doing? Like extending my eye with this shadow so that my eye has a visual effect of being, so see, okay, look at this side, look at this side, look at this side. You see the difference already? It's a subtle difference, but you can see how this eye is kind of like opening up and going to the side, and that's what I'm gonna do here as well. So I've done this, I'm gonna do a little bit more on my nose. And then the last thing, the lips. The lips, actually, to be honest with you, I always skip this part because this is where it's like too much freaking work for me. But remember how I said that my lips, like the top lip is actually bigger than the bottom one? What I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to contour the upper lip and a little bit the lower lip so that it gives me, so I'll do it like that, like just over the lip. It gives me the effect of a bigger upper lip. You can already see a little bit that my upper lip has become bigger. Yeah, and again, you know, if I was a makeup artist, you would probably see the big difference, but I want to share a hack with you that I learned. Most women forget the tips of the lips. So the lips actually don't end where you see them. The lips end at the corners of the lips. So what you do, you're gonna have to take this same contour and you're actually gonna have to extend. So I'm gonna do it here. You're gonna have to extend the corners of your lips so you can accentuate the corners of your lips, and that's how you make your lips bigger. No need for plastic surgery, girlfriend, because you can do it all at your home. And holy shit, why nobody's teaching that? I don't know. Maybe my video will go viral. I think this is it, girlfriends. So, all right. So if you look at my face now, especially like you won't see it now, but you can look at my face from a distance. You see, I still see that I actually have a little bit more on the chin, but I'm just going to leave it like that because again, remember, this is not about perfection, but you can see how my face, and you can see how now, do you see how visually, well, you won't see it now specifically, but once we apply blush and then mascara and then lipstick, oh my God, what a difference, what a change. Okay, so this is just the correction. I hope this is making sense. Now, let's quickly do the eyebrows. So with eyebrows, it's actually, there's this new technique that I learned, and this is all about, I don't know what you use, but like you can use, you know, like different pencils for eyebrows and stuff. But what I do, well, first of all, with eyebrows, like literally, if you have not gone to a woman who knows how to do eyebrows, I just ask for recommendations. Go and for somebody to do your eyebrows properly and go there for a few months so that you can have a shade and then you can keep it up on your own. Because I've done eyebrows on my own and yeah, it doesn't work and it sucks and I'm due for another correction. But anyways, I'm blessed to have natural thick eyebrows. So what I do, this is an eyebrow gel. So I just lift my eyebrows like that and then let it dry a little bit. So after you've done your color correction, let's say of your face, because you now listen to Anarova and she like open your eyes to a new world. Next you do blush, and this is where this one, you only need one color. We're doing everyday makeup where you can walk out and it's like makeup, no makeup, because right now I don't look like I have makeup, right? So I like this. I would actually recommend from Rose Ink, but you try your own. The most important thing I think right now for you is the color. These are different colors. One of them is like a pink, another one is like a coral, so I'm gonna use the coral one. And with blush, it's really important that you actually find your shade. And so with a cream, super simple. So we're gonna use this cream one for lips, for blush, and for eyes. So what I'm gonna do, I'm literally I always start with lips and I kind of pat it. So, and remember, you're gonna pat it to the side too. Oh my God, now I look like smudged and that I kissed Superman. So when I did that, you can see that I have some color left, then I apply it to my cheeks. Just like that. And by the way, sometimes you don't apply enough blush, so don't worry about this. And then after that, guess what? You take this color and you literally, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You see what I'm doing? I'm not even like looking in the mirror. I'm going to take a little bit from here and just apply it on the eyes like that, because you can blend it with a brush after that. Now, I have another brush. This is a blush brush. So what I do, this is the monochrome makeup, right? And if you do this right, oh my God, it's going to change life. Okay, so now what I do, I literally, the most important thing what I learned is that you can't apply blush below, not the middle of your face really, but below your cheek. Make sure you apply this, and you see, I love the creamy textures because you can blend it in, and you can start small, then you can blend it in. Now, I'm going to teach you also what I learned, that what we're doing with blush is actually we're mimicking what would happen naturally to your face if you were like running a marathon or like getting excited and horny. Your face, you need to mimic the natural when you blush, right? So when you blush on the cheeks, you blush a little bit on the eyes, but you also blush here on the two corners, I guess, of your forehead, on the two sides. So apply a little bit here, apply a little bit on your nose, and just a little bit on your chin. You've applied color here as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm literally going to blend it all, put a little bit down, so it goes on top of the color correction. And that's it. So now the last piece, let's do the eyebrows. So as I said, for the eyebrows, make sure you go and see someone who is going to do your shape so that you could just fill it in. I'm also using this pigment from this Russian woman. What I'm doing, this is kind of a new technique. This is called like filling out your eyebrows, and I'm not doing it perfectly. I'm probably not using the right brush. But what I'm going to do, I'm just literally, you see how I have, and my eyebrows are due for a correction, but you see how I have these gaps? So what I'm going to do, I'm just literally going to fill these gaps. The idea here, and honestly, I'm probably not doing this like perfectly, but I know who cares. And I know that in time, I'm going to be better and better and better because my hand is going to learn. Essentially, look, I've done this eyebrow here, and look, see how this eyebrow is a lot more pronounced than this one. But I'm going to do the second side now. Depends on how you want your brows. You know, some women prefer pronounced brows, and as I said, brows is really showing your like unique character. So, you know, a really good specialist will do your brows. So for example, if you want to look like a freaking boss lady, then your eyebrows are going to have to mimic that. There's also, right now the trend is more masculine features. I don't like that. So I'm trying to have more feminine features. So how do you do more masculine features? Well, you look at men's faces, and we know that men's faces are a lot more square, for example, and these parts are like really pronounced. So after I did my color, I'm going to apply again this guy here. And again, as you can see, this is not perfect. And honestly, I don't care because I'm doing my foundation. Okay, so this is it. But let me just apply mascara, and then, so I use an eyelash curler because, and oh my God, I've done once eyelash lamination, and it's freaking amazing because it like literally raises up your eyelashes. But what I hate about all of that is that I gotta go there every month and do it again because you become freaking addicted. I've never done lash extensions because I just feel like they're so unnatural. But what I do, I just do the top eyelashes. I've done one eye, and now I'm gonna do the second eye. And so, you know, if I were to do my lashes, eyebrows, a facial, manicure, like hair, oh my God, being a woman today, like seriously, I could spend a week just doing like these beauty treatments and stuff. So right now, because I'm a mother of 2 small children and I run a business, I got no time for that. So I'm just doing this at home. So you see how I fucked up a little bit here and here with my mascara. So I just take a Q-tip and I just take it off. And honestly, this is what I'm doing. I've got 2 small kids, and so I got no time to sit there and make it all perfect. Okay, if you like this video, you really gotta let me know, because this is like vulnerability next level. But you can see how, oh my God, total transformation. Like, So look at that. Look at that. Okay, hang on. Yeah, so I see that. You see, I see my eyebrows like are super pronounced. And that makes me think that. But see, the thing is that like naturally, I have eyebrows and they're black. And I'm a blonde. Well, not really, but I am. Like, I have balayage. So my root color is actually very like dark blonde. So anyways, what I'm going to do now, so my makeup is pretty much ready. I'm going to show you two more things, two more hacks. One is I use this highlighter from Laura Mercier. And this is just literally a highlighter that I add on top that I want to highlight my features, but essentially these spots are the same for every woman. So I take a little bit of my finger like that and I just put it in between my eyes because I want them, you know, I want this, again, I want my eyes bigger. And then I take a little bit more and then I put it here on, again, my cheekbones so they stand out. Okay. And then I put it here on top of my eyebrows and tip of my nose because you want to highlight a little bit of your nose, and then on tip of your lips. Okay. And then the last thing, which I highly recommend for everyone, and I think every brand sells them, is this spray. It's the, I think it's like the setting spray or whatever. It also gives you like a dewy complexion or something. So the Cream, again, my Russian girlfriend, my Russian beauty girlfriend, I just spray. So this works to set your makeup and also provide you like a dewy texture. Whew. That's it. And then you can add maybe a little bit of, where's my gloss? So you can add a little bit of gloss here. And honestly, that's it. Like 100% honesty, I don't look like this every day. I actually did a little bit of exaggeration for you. Sometimes, I mean, most of the times I don't actually even do my eyebrows like that. But this for me is a look that's a little bit too much, but it actually is not. This is like a daily look. And then remember that makeup sets. And so towards the end of the day, wherever I'm going, wherever I'm running errands, that's how I look. And it's a makeup without makeup. Because honestly, if you look at me, okay, right now, but in an hour or two, makeup without makeup. This is how you do a 10-minute makeup, no makeup, right? Like, have good skincare. Make sure to take out all of your makeup at night. Then you set up the foundation, whatever the foundation is for you, right? And then you do cream contouring based on whatever I told you, right? You do these guys, you do this, you do that, depending on your face and color. Then you do your blush, and you do your cream blush, and you put it on your cheeks, you put it on your eyes, you put it, look at how my lips, they look bigger, right? And then you do a bit of mascara, and then you're good to go. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel. And if you like this, I can do more of this, not probably the makeup, because look, this is the foundation. Then you can add, how do you call that? Liners, cat eye or whatever. You can do a smoky eye, you can do red lips, you can do all sorts of things. But if you know how to do this for your own face, game changer. Honestly, the only thing that I change here is just the color of the blush. Sometimes I feel like a pink, sometimes I feel like a peach. And sometimes I add like sparkles, and sometimes I can add some pencil, like black pencil, and make it like smoky eye. But that's it. Like, honestly, you do this once, you invest in this, and then that's it. Anna Rova changed your life. Thank you. And have a beautiful day. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.